Support for Mission Nonprofit is provided by Thurston Talk.
Hi, I'm Robert Kim, and you're watching Mission Nonprofit. Each month, we connect with local agencies and organizations that are making a positive impact in our communities. We've invited Shawna Hawk from Media Island International to talk about their work. Thanks for joining us, Shawna.
Thank you for having me.
And you know, this is strange. We're on webcam. This is the pandemic, Mission Nonprofit. So how are things with you during this pandemic personally? What's happening?
Oh man, so one day at a time. I'm just really feeling, doing a cross between some self-isolating and carefully engaging with folks 6 feet apart, mask wearing and that kind of thing. Just trying to stay healthy and keep other people in the community healthy as well.
Probably lots of Zoom calls like this one.
Lots of Zoom calls, trying not to overdo it though, because sitting too long is not good. So yeah. being able to be active though, and get fresh air.
Right.
That's really important.
That's important. Yeah, it makes you feel better. Yeah. Well, so Media Island International has a lot of different goals. One of the main things you do is you run a radio station, which is totally cool. A low power FM radio station, COA 106.5 that you can pick up in Olympia. Tell me, what are some of the other things? Well, maybe we should start with when you got on board with Media Island and what you did with it and what you are planning to do with it in the future. What are your goals for Media Island?
Mm-hmm. So I came on board like the tail end of 2014. I was a returning student at Evergreen State College. I had already had a master's degree and came back because my trajectory had changed. So cultural studies was my main focus, as well as finding resiliency tools within the African diaspora. So I had wanted to do some study abroad, and at the same time, I had been DJing on Evergreen's campus on Chaos. Mm-hmm. So I had a show called Vibrational Rising for about 1.5 years. And that was my focus, just getting, things that make you feel good, by raising your vibration. And it also consists of interviews with community members and just learning about cultural issues and that kind of thing. And so it was always interconnected. I had gotten to go to France and meet some Afro-French folks and talked about, hip hop and how hip hop is a part of social justice. And at the same time, I was involved in a group on campus, Evergreen campus, called Hip Hop Congress. And they had brought a African-American hip hop social justice activist here. And we had ended up coming to Media Island and learned about the radio station. And that it just kind of grew from there. So I've been, moving on, asked to be involved, asked to volunteer, asked to be on the board, then I was asked to manage the radio station, and just my involvement just kind of expanded. I was actually on my way to New Orleans. I was going to be going for my PhD. They had a cultural community focus in their PhD program. And then it just kind of dawned on me one day that, I'm here. And the folks at the time who were, from running Media Island was talking about selling it and kind of moving on. And I was like, well, wait a minute. So it just kind of grew from there. And of course, radio was already, in my spirit, and kind of saw it as, wow, such a wonderful tool. Now, when I was at Chaos, my focus was music and finding music to lift your spirits and that kind of thing. But then when I came across COA and realized that the focus was more so around social justice issues, public affairs, it just really further intrigued me because it took that whole vibrational rising to another level. So some of the shows that we air, such as Rising Up with Sunali, Hard Knock Radio, News, Views, and Hip Hop, the Ralph Nader Show, Black Agenda Radio. And then since I've been on board, we've been able to add some shows such as Progressive Masculinity. Of course, we have our LGBTQ plus focus, a couple of shows on that. And the Feminist Hour, just a bunch of things. So just realizing what a tool the radio station was as far as getting, social justice activism, learning, continuous learning was just amazing. So it just really expanded. And then we also have a social justice library in the space as well, in the cultural center. And so that, when you talk about what's your future, what's your goals, definitely developing and enhancing the social justice library. We have one section in particular that we really want to expand, which is our graphic novel. So we've been connecting with some of the local comic book stores like the Danger Room and Lacey Cards and Comics, and just kind of building a relationship with them so we can get some of those, because they've been, especially the Danger Room, been hooking us up with the latest Black Panther episodes and the comic books that are focused on social justice, which there are quite a few, culturally relevant as far as like representation of Black and brown folks in comics, which is definitely it's been around for a while, but now it's getting more notoriety. So just really enhancing that. The other goal is our mission statement, which is, focusing on women of color and their leadership. And so that's another group that I actually founded, which is the Women of Color and Leadership Movement. So they're another like sponsored group, just like the radio station is a sponsored piece of what we do here at Media Island. And so I don't know if I got a chance to say what we were, but we're a cultural, educational, and networking center. And so our goals is, to enhance and grow in that. And the fact that we are Black run, Black owned here in Olympia is a big deal, especially now during these times. But we're in a predominantly white town, so it's important that we are here and we represent that. So it's just been really feeling good to grow in goals and also learn about what potential goals need to be addressed and covered and represented.
So you've got the low power FM talk radio station, you've got your library, you have a meeting space during normal times when we're not under a pandemic. But maybe we should take a look at your video. You have this wonderful video that kind of describes everything in a nutshell. Let's take a minute and show that to our viewers, and then we'll come back and break it down. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Shawna Hawk, Director of Media Island International. Media Island International is a cultural, educational, and networking center whose focus is to support women of color in their leadership goals. Media Island International also houses a social justice library, as well as an in-house community radio station, KOWA 106.5 FM Olympia. We air shows such as Hard Knock Radio, News, Views, and Hip Hop, Democracy Now!, Rising Up with Sonali, and much, much more. We also have an archive section of printed materials focused on social justice. We have a healing room, and we have an inside meeting space which holds up to 30 to 40 people. We have a community kitchen, so groups who may want to rent the space can have access to our community kitchen. We have an outside area, so when folks do workshops or when we offer workshops, we utilize that, weather permitting. We have a couple of garden spaces on our facility that was actually founded by youth groups in the community. We have opportunities for internships, work-study contracts, as well as community volunteer hours. We offer workshops, seminars, virtually as well as in person. We have cultural gatherings, drumming, as well as Afro-folkloric song music. We've done seasonal reparations events, which are focused around highlighting artists of color in our community so that community members who want to donate directly to these artists in our community and support their work can come to these events and support them financially, as well as helping them get their word out about their art. We also have our seasonal newsletter, which features events that we've had, how we connect with the community, as well as some articles from community members pertaining to current events. We bring out guest speakers. Our most recent guest was Tim Wise, anti-racist activist, scholar, and educator. There's Rosa Clemente, Afro-Puerto Rican activist and scholar. Dr. Joy DeGruy, author of Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome.
It's really important to work with community partners such as Media Island. This is a nonprofit that's doing work daily to dismantle racism, to meet with their community and bring new voices to the table. And so that's just work that is really, really important. I'm just really grateful to be a part of it. I really like Olympia. I'm from Olympia. I feel safe in my own skin in Olympia, and that can't be said for everyone. And so I want to be a part of helping other people feel that safety and enjoy this community that we have. I think the event with Rosa Clemente was a snapshot of seeing someone who's doing the work, who has a experience of doing grassroots organization, the work Rosa's done for 30 years. Just getting to see that in person was really eye-opening and very powerful. We also shared steps on how people can organize and how you can organize for change, and I think that message was very valuable for everyone. Getting a chance to see Tim Wise in person, coming from Nashville and coming from New Orleans, the work he has done to dismantle racism, helping to explain that there's a role for all of us, personally for me that was very valuable. I have found an opportunity to really grow. Knowing Shawna Hawk and working with Media Island has allowed me to grow as a person and kind of unchain myself and my soul and to work on my own biases, recognize my privilege, and recognize that I do have a role to play as a white man.
We're in the process of developing a nursery on the community, which volunteers from the community have started working on and helping us to do fundraising around. We're also working on repairing our roof so we can install solar panels, so that way the majority of our power that we use are coming from natural resources. And this is also by the support of some of our community members, and we are looking for more help and support, financial and otherwise, in this area. You can support Media Island International by going to our website, mediaislandinternational.org. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you in advance for your support, and be good to others and yourself. Peace.
Hi, welcome back to Mission Nonprofit. If you're just joining us, our guest is Media Island International, and I have Shawna Hawk. Hi, Shawna, welcome back.
Hello.
So you got the low power FM, you've got the meeting spaces, you've got the library, and you do some workshops. Can you tell me a little bit about what your workshops might be like and how people can maybe request one or hire you to give a workshop? What would you do?
So one that we just gave was equity, inclusion, and community, looking at racial issues in our own backyard. And we gave that one for the city of Olympia just recently. So we can, develop a workshop based on what your particular organization or a group of 3 or more folks really want to do, especially around cultural diversity issues and inclusion. So, that's kind of, we could talk on an individual basis on time frame, how many folks, pricing, all of that. That's the educational component. We also have the ability to, when things are not in a pandemic and when we're open, if community members want to give like-minded workshops here in the space. We've had a person come and do a workshop on prison abolition. We've had another person come and do a couple of people come and do workshops on African spirituality as well as Native American spirituality and spiritual practices in the nature and that kind of thing. We've had events here such as, and you kind of saw that in the video, on reparations and an opportunity for folks of color, artists of color, to be seen and get their art out there. And so, just depending on what the organization wants, what they're looking for, and then we'll see if we can, accommodate that. But it is mostly around racial and gender justice issues.
Okay, and you did one for the city of Olympia. This was for like the staff, people that work for the city of Olympia?
Yes.
Oh, great. And that was probably on Zoom, since you just did.
It was.
So you're able to do these workshops now. We don't have to wait until, COVID restrictions are lifted. You can do these workshops, and And organizations can call you, or businesses can call you if they feel like they need to, give this information to their employees or members.
Right, and now's the time. And we're all really becoming more and more aware of racial inequities, gender inequities, and now's the time to really start educating yourself so we can move forward and grow in these areas.
Cool. And then you're also right now you're taking this time while you're closed, your doors are closed for meeting space and everything, to update the facility. You have a cool little building we saw in the video over across from the library downtown. And you're getting that, just better situated, doing some improvements, and you've got something neat in the works with another nonprofit in town, Olympia Community Solar. They're working with you. We've had them on our show.
Exactly. Community Solar's working with us. We're going to be getting our roof replaced. So that was through some heavy fundraising that had happened. So the roof, we had desperate need of a replacement. And then once that's done, that's happening here at the beginning of November. Once that's done, we're going to be getting some solar panels. So the majority of, like I said in the video, our power can be taken from that natural resources to help our environment. And then another big project that but that we're really looking at doing, and some community members had also worked on, was our plant nursery. So we're going to be having a plant nursery built here on the facility, because we have a couple of small little garden spaces and we want to do some indoor planting and that kind of thing. So that happened. A community member came and said, hey, I'll build it. And then two organizations, actually Orca Books and Underhill Plants downtown, did a fundraiser, and we were their focus since we're a Black-run organization, and got the money to cover the build of the nursery. So that happened. That was just really, one of the things that, happens and can happen while we're closed, and we got those foundational things done. We also want to do a recording station in the back, because we have a space in the back that had the bigger portion of the radio station that had a flood and a fire, and so some repairs slowly but surely had been getting done on that. And so we're looking to do some fundraising to help build that recording station studio back there, so we can have it for multi-use. And for community members that are like-minded, that have a similar focus to ours, as well as, artists and youth in the community. Because I've been partnering in the past with, and currently with CYS and the youth, the Bridge Project, and some of their youth have come and helped us with some sound and DJ and stuff and that kind of thing. So we've kept those partnerships, and we want to enhance those even more.
So a place for people to make their own radio shows, is that right?
Well, not make their own radio shows, but make their music,
anything they want.
Have interviews, whatnot. Yeah, case by case.
Okay.
And as far as radio shows, potentially, but definitely with the focus on social justice. So let's say, for instance, because people have asked us, are we similar to Chaos? Can you just come and just play music and do anything? And no, it needs to be intentional and focused. So if you're, having something to say around the laws around, prison abolition, or I had one person had approached me at one point that wanted to do a show around cannabis and legalities of cannabis and the connection to coffee. And they didn't end up, finishing and following that through, but it was a good idea, because we also got a chance, we had started it, and we got a chance to interview some of the local tribes that had their own shops, and what was the difference between the laws and what was going on and that kind of thing. So something with intention, versus just getting on a mic and not having a point.
Gotcha. Yeah. You've got lots of focused radio programs, talk radio programs that you fill your radio hours with. And then, but are any of them actually produced here and put on the air, or are they all things that you grab elsewhere and put them on?
Well, yes, they are. It's like, for instance, when we just had, right before the pandemic exploded, we had brought out a guest speaker, Tim Wise. And so that's another thing that we do. We bring out guest speakers to the community and partner. And we had before then had brought out a Rosa Clemente, Afro-Puerto Rican activist and scholar. And so Tim Wise came to the Washington Center as well as to Evergreen. and we did a interview in the studio, a COA interview as well. So that's, going to be on the radio station, and when you tune in, we'll have it, posted and whatnot. And we also have our YouTube channel where we did the, recorded the lecture and that kind of thing. So yes, we produce shows, produce interviews, as well as have the other shows that are just really amazing from around other parts of the country and the world.
Yeah, you talked about around the country and around the world. Now you have the COA radio station that does actually broadcast on the radio, which is really cool. And you may not have, it's low power, so you don't go too far out, but people can tune in in their car and their radio, but you don't have to tune in on their radio, and you don't have to live in Olympia to receive COA, right? You can go online. What is it? It's coalp.org?
KOWALP.org.
Excellent. So that's the international part, right? You can get COA internationally because it's online. But then you also have your international library, and this library it's at your facility. You'd have to go to it's not online. Am I right? It's a physical space at your facility, but you have materials that probably aren't going to be available like at Timberland Library. Can you tell me a little bit about what that library looks like? What kind of things could people find there?
So it's not your typical library where you check out things. I mean, once we're open, you come in, you educate. You can find some things that you could get because we work in partnership with Timberland. So you can order and get at Timberland as well. It's mostly educational piece. We have films as well. So when we do screenings, so I can talk a little bit about some of the events that we have done, and we do screenings of things like 13th and making whiteness visible. We just had, a screening of that. So various things like educational, being able to, when they see us, the documentary that was on, actually it was a movie that was on Netflix. We had a screening here with a number of community members and had a discussion afterward. So that's part of the things that are in the library, as far as we have our videos for screenings. We have our books that are focused around specific topics, racial topics and that kind of thing. So it's categorized, and I actually had some good volunteers come in and really make our categories kind of fit what our radio, focuses are. So we stay in that same vein, that educational vein, but it's more of an educational type library where people can come and see newsletters, zines, and that kind of thing. So it's, so we work in partnership with the libraries.
Oh, great.
Like I said, with the comic book stores and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Is there some local content in your library?
The zines, cool. and the we just came out with our own newsletter, our fall newsletter. So we do a seasonal newsletter that has some information, and a couple of local folks had wrote some articles in there as well. So that feels really good. Yeah.
And if people want to subscribe to your newsletter and get it maybe emailed to them, would they be able to do that? Do you have a subscription for that?
Not yet, but you can go to the website and
just get it on the website.
See the newsletter there. You can also find us on official Media Island on Instagram. You can also find us on Facebook. We're Media Island International, as well as COA Community Radio Station has their Facebook page, and the Women of Color and Leadership Movement. Oh,
we just got three websites here listed out. Your main website, MediaIslandInternational.org. Then you have the Women of Color and Leadership, which is all spelled out, really. Women in Color
Leadershipmovement.com.
In leadershipmovement.com. And then you mentioned another one.
COA. And all of those links are on the Media Island International website as well. So trying to find COA, you can find that. But Facebook in particular can lead you to those as well. So they link to each other.
Mm-hmm. And then follow on Facebook and Instagram. You can do that too as well.
Yes.
All right. If people want to maybe sign up for one of these workshops, what would they do? They give you a call, they send you an email, they go to your website and click a thing. How do
Yes, they can. So they can, send me an email at Shawna, SHAWNA at mediaisland.org. You can also send us a message on Facebook, and you can, message us, send the email, let us know.
Now, what are some of your goals for the near future? I know that we talked a little bit about your wishes for the COA radio station to get it where you can hear it in a broader area. And I don't know what the rules are on low power FM, like how powerful it can be. How powerful is it now, and what would you like to see with that?
So right now you can hear us by way of straight radio, downtown mostly. A little bit of Lacey, like when you're heading towards St. Martin's, and all the way up to like maybe some Black Lake area. But we'd like a bigger reach. We'd like to be able to reach up to JBLM, and that means getting our transmitter to a better location. So we are doing fundraising for that. So if folks want to directly support the radio station, there is a funnel on the website that will take you directly to that. But that's definitely what we're trying to do, because we have some amazing programming that we really want to get out there and share, and then do other networking with other community radio stations nearby as well.
Oh, that sounds good. And you probably also want to grow your workshops. You want to get those solar panels on the roof so you don't have to pay for electricity, probably, right? Once that happens.
A huge portion of it is taken care of, yes.
Yeah, awesome. Anything else? What are their other immediate goals?
So support, folks who are wanting to financially support and just helping get the word out, get the word out about what we do, listening to the radio station. One of my favorite shows comes on Monday through Friday at 5:00, which is Hard Knock Radio, News, Views, and Hip Hop, especially during these political times of just really having and we also do Democracy Now! As well, right after. And especially, like I said, during these times, it's just really, really important to support small nonprofits. So we're considered a small nonprofit. We're not your big name ones that get a lot of the funding, like your YWCAs and your bigger organizations that are more known. So just really keeping us on your radar as far as the small. We're not usually at a place where we hear about the funding, which is often the case when you have Black run and owned organizations. So that's kind of trying to get in the network and trying to get on people's radar. And if folks are looking to support, especially a Black woman-run organization, here we are.
They need to go to your website and click that donate button. I'm sure you have a donate button somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And if folks are trying to, we do have a donate funnel. You can also donate and funnel. Some folks have done fundraisers through Facebook. They make it kind of easy as well. We're listed on there as a nonprofit.
Yeah, when you have a birthday and you want to, donate your birthday gifts to a nonprofit, they could pick you.
Yes,
that's a good idea. Well, we got in the last minute we've got here. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about that we didn't discuss? Anything you'd like to add?
Just want to make sure that people are really educating themselves, moving forward, taking good care of themselves and others, and keep us on your radar. We definitely would like to be a part of that growth and those new beginnings.
And tune in 106.5 on your radio. Make sure you set that as a preset.
6.5 FM Olympia, yes.
Yep. Okay. Right. Well, thanks for being with us, Shawna. That's all we have for you today. Please visit their website at mediaislandinternational.org. You can also find them on Facebook at Media Island International and Instagram at Official Media Island.
Support for Mission Nonprofit is provided by Thurston Talk.